I should have started sooner is something that we've all thought or said out loud at least once. It's that mix of frustration and guilt when we finally start doing the thing that we always should have been doing. You look back at the wasted time, the wasted efforts, and you think to yourself, man, had I just started back then, what would I be like now? But here's the thing, right? That phrase that we should have started sooner is one of the biggest lies that we tell ourselves. Because the problem isn't that we started late. No, it's the fact that we thought that we had time when we didn't. And I've came to realize this later in my life with all the opportunities that I've had. If I just made the most efficient use of time, I would have been able to do those things. I would have been able to go on and achieve even greater things. And yet I took that for granted. I didn't understand the fact that my time was very limited, and later on I would have my hands tied up into other things. And I feel like that is what made me build a resentment towards myself because of my lack of urgency. And I started to see this reflected in other people, because most people act like time is on their side completely. They have this deep sense of naivety that there's always going to be a next time, after work, after university, after things slow down, that they'll just figure things out. But one thing about time is that it will never, and it doesn't give a damn about your perfect circumstances. Something can hit you at any given time, an opportunity, and you can feel like you're not ready for it. But realistically, that's just you taking it for granted. And honestly, I get it, because like I said, I've lived like that too. I'd make up excuses and tell myself that I wasn't ready to receive that blessing, or I wasn't ready to receive the opportunity. And it came back to bite me, because that regret, it chased me forever, and it still continues to chase me. But here's the thing with that, right? You guys will never be ready. You just start, and through the process of starting, you become ready by doing. That act of doing will prepare you for whatever's to come. And I genuinely believe, as a follower of Christ, right, I was doing a lot of reflection on this, but when God puts an idea in your head, whatever you want to call it, an idea, a conviction, a spark, a revolutionary thing, I don't know, whatever you guys want to label it as, when he puts this thing in your head, he's not just giving it to you. You're not entirely special. And I don't say that to undermine your characteristics or your work ethic, but I guarantee you, if God has given the idea to you, he's given it to 1,000 other people, and he's just waiting to see which one of you, or which very few of you, have the courage to act upon these ideas. But even coming away from that, think about every single idea that you've had. That business, that creative project, that big change that you wanted to make. Every single person who's come before you, and probably someone else in the world, has had that idea before. And very few people, a handful of people, will actually materialize their dreams. A lot of people, the majority, they'll talk themselves out of it. And that's where most people lose. Not because of circumstances, but because of hesitation. And that's part of the reason why people quit. But another reason why people quit is because they don't really grasp at the concept that patience is a virtue. That in order to get anything in life, you need to be patient. Anything worth having in life takes a while. A lot of young people don't really understand this concept. We've been spoilt when it comes to fast food, entertainment, even fake success. We've seen it online, we've seen it in real life, and we want a portion of it. But when we don't get that, we throw a tantrum and we say it's too hard, and then we simply just give up. And I think where this comes from is the misconception of patience, because patience isn't sitting around and doing nothing. No, it's the art of trusting the process, but still staying in motion. I'll give you guys an example. Imagine you plant a seed. Do you expect that tree to grow overnight? Of course you don't. That would be dumb. That would be naive. And yet we treat our goals the same. We plant the seed, and because it doesn't grow overnight, we give up. And it's insanely naive, because that's not how life works. That's not how growth works. And it's certainly not how your purpose works. Some things in life just happen when they're meant to. And the way I thought about it is that you might not be ready for the thing that you want the most in life right now. You know that deep down to be true, and God certainly knows that. So you throwing a tantrum doesn't speed up the process. You need to learn to embrace patience, because what you deem to be annoying could actually be divine preparation. But let's be real for a second. Regret hurts, and when you finally realize how long that you've been holding back for, it really does sting. It stung me, I know that for certain. You look back and you think, if I had just started that YouTube channel, because that's what it was for me, that business, my fitness, then I'd be so far ahead right now. And you can either use this regret to fuel you, or it will consume you. And one of the ways in which I turned this regret into fuel was by going out more, working out more, creating content for the right reasons this time. I thought back to this and realized to myself I'd been held back for so long in the fear of other people's expectations, what will they think of me, but none of that really mattered in the long run. All of that fear, I thought it was protecting me, but really and truly, it just paralyzed me. And it goes back to the saying that I heard from Higher Up Wellness or Michael Smoke on TikTok, that people prefer a familiar heaven to an unfamiliar hell. And that was the case for me, and maybe it's the case for a lot of you right now. And I know and understand that a lot of you don't want to start that thing because you're scared that you will fail. But if you don't start, failure is guaranteed 100%. And don't even get me started on regret. If you don't do that thing, regret will chase you for the rest of your life. And trust me, that is far worse than failure, far more painful than failure. I want you guys to think of it like this. Every single time you put off that thing that you know needs to be done, you're just borrowing future regret from yourself, or rather regret from your future self. So I want you guys to think of it like this. Don't say, I wish I started sooner. Say, I'm glad that I started now. Change the vernacular, the way you speak to yourself. And I'm going to come back to this point actually. People don't realize how much time that they have. I don't say that to scare you. I don't say that to be morbid. We are all going to die one day. However, I've watched people lose opportunities, relationships, and even themselves because they don't really understand the severity of this, and they don't have a sense of urgency at all. Those people who wait too long, or those people who stop trying, they really scare me, because you'll never know how close you were to achieving your goals, your ambitions, your dreams, because you stopped trying. Life doesn't reward hesitation, it rewards action. So move, even if you're scared, even if it's messy, even if it's small, because the one thing scarier than starting is looking back and realizing that you never did. I've been through that far too many times, and I wouldn't wish it upon any of you. So yeah, maybe you should have started later, but you started now. Now you're mature enough to understand why it matters, why it's important, why it's mainly your responsibility, how to take accountability, how to be smart in doing that thing. Hopefully this video has enabled you to be more of those things, embody more of those things. I wholeheartedly believe that you are mature enough to see this through, so I hope you do too. God does not make mistakes, he doesn't. He's just put this idea in your head and he's sitting back to see if you're able to keep up the consistency with it. So stop living in the past, stop focusing on what could have been and focus on what could still be. Because one day, when you are where you want to be, and I know that you will reach that place, you'll look back and realize that the timing was right all along. But yeah guys, that's been my take on regret and the saying that I should have started sooner. I've said it out loud many a times, and I thought it many a times, and I'm sure some of you have as well. So if this video did resonate with you, or anything that you've been through, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Share it to a friend who you think may need this message. And if you guys want to join a community full of like-minded people on the path of self-development, then I'll leave a link below in the description and also the comment section. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one.